Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Routledge History of Literature in English, part 12. So, let's dive in the world of literature. Today, we will be covering Jacobean drama to the closure of the theatres 1642. In page 102, we can find the lines written by John Webster's The Duchess of Malfi. Come violent death, serve for mandragora to make me sleep. Ben Jonson, one of the well-known dramatists of Jacobean age. He wrote an ode to the memory of my beloved, the author Mr. William Shakespeare, and what he hath left us, for the first folio of Shakespeare's collected plays in 1623. The two comedies, The Alchemist in 1610 and Volpone in 1605, are Ben Jonson's lasting masterpieces. These plays have been defined inaccurately as the comedy of humours, where the humour is the principal characteristic of an individual. The balance of the humours was considered to be a determining factor of human nature and the exaggeration of any one of them, and these are blood, phlegm, choler, and melancholy, corresponding to the physical elements of earth, air, fire, and water. The play Every Man in His Humour performed in 1598 and the play Every Man Out of His Humour in 1599. Jonson offers us in Every Man in His Humour his own variations: the Willy servant Brainworm, the braggart soldier Bobadil, the would-be poet Matthew, the gull Stephen. Jonson also uses contemporary characters from London life in many of his works, notably Bartholomew Fair in 1614, helping to establish a genre which came to be known as city comedy. We can find the poetic form and language in Jonson's My Picture Left in Scotland between 1618 to 1619. We can find masques. The masque became an important theatrical form during the reigns of James I and Charles I. It was a court entertainment performed for the kings and other aristocratic peoples. Jonson himself described in the Masque of Beauty in the second decade of the 17th century how his work was intended to glorify the court, and he has also written the Masque of Blackness. Now let's talk about some other early 17th century dramatists. John Fletcher and Francis Beaumont together wrote the Maid's tragedy between 1610 to 1611. Beaumont wrote The Night of the Burning Pestle somewhere between 1607 to 1608. Now comes Thomas Middleton. He wrote The Revenger's Tragedy in 1607. The tragedy of revenge, which had been highly successful in the 1590s, reaches a kind of climax in The Revenger's Tragedy in 1607. He also wrote The Changeling in collaboration with William Rowley, and he also wrote Woman Be Aware Woman, 1657. He also wrote A Game at Chess in 1624. John Ford also wrote the play "'Tis Pity She's a Whore". The play is a deliberate challenge to moral values and decline of virtue, but equally it was seen by Puritans as representative of the decadent influence of the Caroline theatre. In their final scene, Giovanni and Annabella's love recalls Romeo and Juliet. One of the well-known dramatists, John Webster, wrote The White Devil and the Duchess of Malfi, tragedies which raise the themes of blood, lust, and intrigue. Then comes domestic tragedy, and we can find plays like Thomas Heywood's A Woman Killed with Kindness in 1603, and two anonymous plays of approximately nearly the same period, Arden of Faversham in 1592 and A Yorkshire Tragedy in 1608. Then comes city comedy. We can find Thomas Dekker's The Shoemaker's Holiday in 1599, one of the earliest of city comedies. Then Thomas Middleton's A Mad World. Then My Masters and A Chaste, Maid in Cheapside in 1613. Then Francis Beaumont, The Night of the Burning Pestle between 1607 to 1608. And Philip Massenger's A New Way to Pay Old Debts between 1625 to 1626. The end of the Renaissance theatre. After Shakespeare and other major dramatists of the time, it is easy for critics to say that drama went into decline. This is, however, to ignore the works of several writers. The Staple of News in 1631 is one of the late plays by Ben Jonson. Then comes Richard Brome and James Shirley. Shirley's tragedies, The Cardinal in 1641 and The Traitor in 1631, tackled religious and political themes. Brome's most successful works are comic, A Jovial Crew in 1641 and The City Wit in 1653. So that's all for today's video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section below, or you can message me in my social media IDs that is given in the description box below. Do share the video to all those who wants to be the part of this literary journey. So that's all. Thank you and signing out.